Shalom, shalom. First one, all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah Bashem, Kadash. Shalom to all the Israelites out there. Just want to touch on this video. I'm finna play it when Akim sent it over to me. I actually touched on it a little bit a few months ago. This missile that Russia just put on the battlefield now, right? They got these same missiles, right? These ICBM missiles in those untraceable Russian subs. If you, it was a while back, but if you heard me talk about it, this is why the United States and other countries are trying to find those Russian subs. They can't find them. They're untraceable. This is why they're trying to like shake up the waters, and you got the earthquakes and you got all this other stuff going on because it helps them locate it, right? Think about like a radar or UAVs and stuff. They use a lot of sound waves. That's why the United States do a lot of wicked things with these whales, because whales work off of that type of sound wave, type of radar technology. You can be kind of moving or doing something and they could pinpoint you, and like they could find a needle in a haystack just from you just making any sort of motion, right? Watch some of the old military movies, and the submarine would just, they'd be like, turn off everything. They'd be like, don't drop a pin. Don't make any noise. That's what they're doing. But they can't find it, right? This Russian sub, they could be down there cooking some whole chicken wings and they can't be found, all right? So, and then I'm getting to the scriptures on how this is prophecy related to today, because this missile is called the Sarmat, right? Or the Satan II missile. This is in the scriptures. John saw this, Isaiah saw this. So we don't have this many prophecies left here in America, all right? We know they finna lock everybody back down with the vid, right? A prudent man foreseeth evil, right? They finna lock everybody else down with the vid. That's in the scriptures. You're gonna have famine of the word, right? Famine of the food, that's already here, right? People just sleep, right? One of them ports, I just saw the other day, somebody sent me a video and a news clipping. It's over 2,000 tankers, right? They can't even dock right now because of what's going on with the United States and all that over there, right? That's gonna happen. That's going to happen over here with the food. You probably already noticed the price of groceries done went up. Fellas, if you don't know, look over and ask your rib and ask your wife. I bet she know. All right. And then we got the MOTB coming. We got that. Then we got this war coming. Right. It's we just got to be vigilant. All right. So let me get into it.
Sarmat, super heavy intercontinental ballistic missile, also known as the Satan II, has officially entered active combat service with the strategic missile forces of the Russian Federation. The missile is replacing the R-36M2 ICBM, which has been in active service since 1988. The RS-28 Sarmat is capable of carrying up to 10 nuclear warheads in a single missile, as well as decoys.
Carrying up to 10 in one. So think of fireworks. It gets shot way up, like the prophecies say in the scriptures. It's going to go way up, out pretty much into the atmosphere, and it's going to come down, and it's going to stick. It's going to land, right? Fireworks go up, boom, and then like 10, 20, 30 more little fireworks come out of it. This is saying it can carry up to 10. They really lying. It really can carry up to 25, right? So imagine it being exploded, detonated over, let's say, Texas, and then boom, that one blows up, and it shoots out 15 more, one going towards California, one to Montana, one to Illinois, one to Florida. That's just one missile. 50.
The RS-28 Sarmat is a liquid-fueled, super-heavy intercontinental ballistic missile produced by the Makayev Rocket Design Bureau. The missile is one of 6 new strategic weapons unveiled by Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Sarmat made its first test flight on April 20th, 2022, and on August 16th, 2022, a state contract was signed for the permanent manufacture and supply of the strategic missile system. The missile officially entered combat service today, September 1st, 2023.
Pay attention to how these missiles look, right? Let me rewind it just a little bit.
Unveiled by Russian
Rewind it on purpose.
Vladimir Putin. The
Pay attention to how they look, right? John is going to be explaining they kind of look like snakes in the tail, and they wiggle and they move. He ain't talking about real snakes going to be dropping from the sky.
Sarmat made its first test flight on April 20th, 2022, and on August 16th, 2022, a state contract was signed for the permanent manufacture and supply of the strategic missile system. The missile officially entered combat service today, September 1st, 2023. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, that says September 1st, 2023. Let me just get straight into it. Everybody go to Revelations chapter 9. I'm going to just get straight to it. We're going to start at verse 16. Right? And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. Okay? So you hear fireworks or gunshots. You like, man, I don't know, man. Shit, man, he let off by 15, 16. He emptied the clip. Nah. So he heard, that's how much he heard. Like, boom, 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 boom. He heard approximately that many, right? Now, myself, I speak for myself. I ain't going to speak for other Hebrews. I'll let them get their testimony. I've seen the same thing being carried away in the spirit. I've seen it, not dreaming or nothing like that. I've seen them coming down, right? The scriptures say only with our eyes we going to see the reward of the wicked. Yeah, that's real. I've seen us being up in the chariots. And I saw Israelites only, us being up in the chariots, and we just saw them coming down like boom, 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 boom. So I could understand what he was seeing, right? And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, right, of jacinth, of brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire, smoke, and brimstone, right? This got to deal with all of their, I'll just say military equipment to keep it where people can understand, right? By these three was the third part of men killed by fire and by smoke. What you see coming out of those missiles that you just saw, right? Matter of fact, side homework, if you listen and got your phone out, Google Scud missiles or nuclear Scud missiles, right? They got the payload in the head, right? Some of them got the tail. These ICBs, the payload is in the tail. Anyway, by these three were the third part of men killed by fire and by smoke and by brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. So he's describing missiles, but just for back then, he like, yo, whatever this thing going through the sky, it's like a snake or serpent. And when it hit, whatever came out of it, it was like when you watch the movie Terminator. He said they died by fire, smoke, and brimstone. When you watch Terminator or Independence Day, when it shoot that stuff out and smoke, concrete buildings go flying everywhere and fire, he's describing. He's like, yo, a third part of men was killed. Like, it's going to be missiles flying everywhere. He saw over 200 million. Verse 19, for their power, he's talking about those missiles, is in their mouth and in their tail. So he's like, yo, some of it popped out the front, some popped out the back. For their tails were like unto serpents. When that missile go up, it wiggles, right? And you just see smoke and stuff going through the air. And had heads, and with them they do hurt. So when that mug land and it stick, oh, bro, it hurts. I just told you how it hurt. When that thing flying through the sky, when it land, it's going to knock out the whole city. Let's say if you live in Dallas, LA, Chicago, when that one missile land, it's going to shoot out 10 or 15 more. It's going to take out everybody. That's what he's saying. All right. So, and we're going to get into that, right? Matter of fact, now, let's get into that. So this is what the Most High was talking about when he said, I'm gonna go to good old faithful, right? This is what he's talking about in Psalms 91, right? When he says 10,000 gonna fall at our left, yada yada. This is what he's talking about. He was talking about because the missiles are coming, right? I just read this the other day. Verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, he is my refuge, my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler. right? Ooh, Fowler, that's a good one because that's going into the eagle, that's going into Esau. And from the noisome pestilence, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thy trust. His truth, the law, so those of us keeping the law, shall be the shield and the buckler, right? Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. This is what he's talking about, right? Nor for the pestilence that walk in the darkness, nor for the destruction that wasted at noonday. 1,000 shall fall to thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come near thee. So imagine, like I said, Terminator, Independence Day. I'm trying to create a visual when that nuke hit, because it's coming. When they come and explode, he's saying you're going to stand and you're going to witness it. He said, only with thine eyes, look at verse 8, only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. He's placing Esau, Babylon, right? He's placing Esau in control of Babylon at the end times, right? Esau and Babylon, it must link together, meaning the Israelites will still be in the land of their captivity, right? And we will be in the land of Babylon the Great, and we will be under the Edomites' captivity. So this is real easy to do process of elimination, okay? So this is where he's placing it. This is what that means, right? Matter of fact, let's go back to, I think that's Isaiah 54, because we all use this loosely as Christians before, right? This is what the Most High was talking about when we say, oh, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. He is not talking about your coworker who mean, your you breaking up with your boyfriend, you doing something with your girlfriend. You know how we use it loosely? No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I'm a thrive. I'm getting after my bag. That ain't not that's out of context. The Most High was letting us know these arrows finna come flying. We finna be destroyed. You see this talking about Judgment Day. He's saying none of their weapons, none of these weapons that they have formed against us, it's not going to prosper against us. It ain't got nothing to do with Christians or nothing like that. He talking about the Israelites. Let's get into it. Verse 4, Isaiah 54:4, right? Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded. For thou shalt not be put to shame. He's talking about the Israelites. For thou shalt forget the shame, right? And thou shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowed anymore. For thy maker, Yahweh Shem Yahweh is thine husband, right? The Lord of hosts is his name, the Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth, he shall be called. Anyway, I was going through that in the Hebrew, it'll be Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem Kakadash, right? For the Lord had called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of the youth when thou wast refused, right? Said God. I'm going to skip down. Like y'all can read there, right? Just skip down. I'm going to skip all the way down, right? Go to 16. I'm just get straight to it. Isaiah 54:16, right? But all that's in context. Like read all that, but for time's sake, right? Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals of fire, because the Most High creates good and evil. So even though Russia and these other countries gonna have this missile, he's talking about this missile. So keep that in mind. They blow it coals in the fire and bring it forth in an instrument for his work. Let us know. Saw he when we read uh, he this touch in this Babylon, right? God is a woman and all that, right? Oh, he said, "Thy ego." When they was France, they did when they became Rome, Italy, Portugal, Spain, right? They got the eagle flag on Mexico, United States. They covered the whole earth with the eagle, meaning they did this. They are the Edomites. They are the Romans. It don't matter what people think. You are looking at the bloodline of the serpent. That's what you're looking at. All right. I'm showing that for a reason. All right. So you see that eagle, right? And everything they do, they get from Egypt. Everything. Egypt, Rome, Greece. This is mystery Babylon. It's everything, all the abominations in a cup, if you will, right? Matter of fact, let's get that. Revelations, I think that's chapter 11, right? Where it go into Revelation. This is all talking about the Israelites. Y'all definitely go through there and read this. This all talking about the Israelites. Look at verse 7. I'm going to just start there for time's sake. But all the rest of this, 1 through 6, that's talking about the Israelites, right? And he's telling them what's going to happen to us here. All right, Revelation 11, verse 7. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them and shall overcome them and kill them. Slavery, if you will, but keep it short. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, Babylon, America, which is spiritually called Sodom. Spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. We was going to go back into slavery here, physically, right? And it's spiritual Egypt too. That's why you got obelisks on top of every church, like in the book of Exodus and Ezekiel. They talking about it. They got the obelisks, right? Everything they do, they got the Masonic stuff. Look at our phone. Look at the Gmail symbol on your email. All that's Masonic. All that goes back to Egypt. Everything that they do, and it's spiritually Sodom, correct? It's spiritually and physically. I mean, if I have to explain how sodomized this place is, everything is Sodom, right? Texas just had to make a law the other day to say that no, minors can't go have a sex change. This is Sodom all over again. Everything is sodomized. Athletes, all that. When we was little playing football and all that, the males know we had to go get physicals. And what they do, they turn your head, cough. They sodomize you. Or what happens when the fellas, when they get older, they want you to go get a prostate examination. What? It's an old Edomite in there, and what he do? He sodomize you. He lotion up his whole finger or his thumb, and it go right up in you. I ain't never had that done, but everything they do here is sodomized, right? I just want to touch on that, right? And their dead bodies, verse 8, their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall suffer not their dead bodies to be put in graves. The reason America is the main event, if you will, because everybody stood by and watched this genocide. They watched our captivity. They got rich off of it. None of these other nations get a pass. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm from Brazil, I'm from Ecuador, our people. No, I'm talking about your bloodline. It doesn't matter. None of them get a pass because none of them stepped in over here and stopped the genocide. But they'll step in and help Ukraine. They'll step in and help any other country, help in the Middle East. They never came over here to stop it. America, if you will, did not become a military superpower until after World War II. Let that sink in. They didn't become like a superpower where people are like, whoa, wait a minute. We better not ever mess with them. Why nobody came in the early 1900s to stop the genocide? All these other powerful countries. Why they didn't come in the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, 1500s, 1400s? Because the genocide was already popping off in the 1400s over here. Why did no other country come? Because it was a race. It was a free-for-all, just like they did in Africa, in Central and the West Coast. And South and North, the whole continent. It was a free-for-all. By who? By these. None of them care. So they all stood by and watched, so they all going to stand by and watch our salvation. Right? So this is what's going on, right? So I just wanted to bring that up. I really just wanted to only talk about that missile, but and to prove that that's Babylon. Hold on, let me get one more. And to prove that that's Babylon, and Isaiah in chapter 13 and 54 and all, it wasn't talking about the old Babylon, because it's cleared up all throughout the prophecy, right? Psalms 137, right? And remember I said he places the Edomites in rulership and in charge of the whole earth, and they are the rulers of Babylon, which would have the Israelites in slavery upon Christ's return. So remember those three things. Well, Christ said upon his return, the Israelites will still be in slavery, meaning we ain't got our land back and you will not get no reparations. Stop asking. The Most High said you ain't going to get a dime. He said we wouldn't get one penny. Have they gave us a penny? No. They gave Asian people money. They've even gave so-called Mexican people money. People just won't look that up. They've given everybody money except for your black ass. Let that sink in. So remember those three things. We would still be in slavery upon Christ's return. We will be in Babylon the Great. That's where he going to come redeem us from. And Esau would be the ones caught red-handed, meaning they would be the ones that put us in captivity, meaning they hand going to get caught in the cookie jar, right? For those who touch the apple of my eye, they going to be the ones found guilty. So if people know, well, I know we Hebrews now. Okay, cool. You know we the Hebrews? Then by biblical definition and prophecy alone, where are we standing today? America? No. Babylon, right? Mystery Babylon. Okay, yeah. And then who are these other people around you? Not according to your feelings, according to the scriptures. Who are they? According to the Most High, they're the Edomites. This is real easy. Process of elimination, right? So anyway, with that, Psalms 137, verse 7, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, right? We praying, we begging. We talk about the prayer of my grandma, my ancestors, and all that. This is one of the greatest ones. He said, remember the children of Edom, meaning don't forget them. Remember Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, George Washington, your teacher who failed you, who gave you a 69, she could have gave you a 70 so you could pass. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. When they started conquering us in 59 AD, right? No, actually it was 54 AD all the way up to 70 AD. It took about 15 years, right? When we finally left, ran, fled, went to North, Central, and West Africa, we weren't even in Jerusalem no more. They still burnt down all our stuff. That's what raise it means. So we saying, remember what they did. Verse 8, O daughter of Babylon. So if you have a daughter right now or a child right now, is that you? No. So that's how we know it's not the old Babylon. And David wasn't in the old Babylon. Ding, 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 ding. See that? Daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. That's a future prophecy. Remember, because it ain't going to be inhabited no more. So he said, nah, the daughter of Babylon, the new one, the one I'm seeing in the spirit, the one that's going to have us in slavery at the end times, daughter of Babylon, right, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. So he's saying, Yahweh Shah, Christ, the angels, the elect, when the judgment come down on this place, it's going to be happy. It's going to be judgment. We going to be happy. They're not. They're going to think it's an alien attack. It's going to be so much blood, fire, smoke. It's going to be terrible. Verse 9, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone. Long story short, the same way they took your babies and fed them to alligators, took your babies and used them for experiment, took your babies in the Renaissance period, took our children and threw them off the top of the battlements and just let them splat. The same way the angels, Yahushua, the elect, are going to do to their children. That's what the scripture's saying. So when people say, oh, that's hate, that's this, that's the scriptures say. Look, read it again. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth they little ones against the stones. I say this all the time. Them angels going to be playing curveball with their little children. The same way they was going fishing with yours. So with that, shalom.